Welcome to the Swine Nutrition Blackbelt Podcast, the latest swine nutrition research digested for you. My name is 𝗟𝗽𝗀𝗀, your host for today's episode. Today, I have with us Zack Peppmeier, a Ph.D. student from North Carolina State University, studying under Dr. Mark 𝗟𝗀. So, Zack, would you mind telling us about the study?
Yeah, the objective of our study that we've been working on is to develop an equation-based model to estimate swine back fat, loin depth, and intermuscular fat based on ultrasound images. So these ultrasound images taken of about 2,800 images taken of about 550 pigs, so about 6 images a pig. These images were taken on farm, and then farm workers then trained personnel went and after to manually pull the back fat, loin depth from the images. And then these pigs were had a chemical IMF were taken of the loin to get a gold standard for chemical IMF that I'm using to compare my model that I'm developing to compare to those measurements to see to then just compare the accuracy, to compare my measurements to their model to help. So the goal of the project would be then to develop this equation, so then to reduce labor and increase accuracy of these measurements. That's the primary goal of it. So then it can allow producers to free up labor and take on some more of those repetitive tasks such as like taking the ultrasound measurements or taking the pulling the back fat and loin depth measurements from those pigs. And if we can develop a model to automate that process, it'll help free up labor on the farm and then so then producers can then reallocate that labor to other areas of the farm, especially right now today with being a labor crisis, with a lot of producers facing labor issues from COVID and a number of other things going on in the industry today. So basically when I do it, I have the ultrasound image, and then I segment the image or break up the image into individual parts using, it's actually like the image gradient, which is just the differences in pixels. And each individual location on an image has a pixel value ranging from 0 to 256. So then like with black being a pixel value of 0 and 256 being a pixel value that is completely white. So then with that, you can see the different lines and the different edges throughout the image. So then using that and with my model, I can identify the lines throughout the image. So then breaking it up into just a back fat region, a rib region and below, and then a loin region. And then using those individual regions can then estimate back fat, loin depth, and then with just the loin region, estimate an IMF value based on the white streakings or the marbling intermuscular fat in just the loin region.
So this is like an completely automated process for measuring these, or does it require any sort of effort from workers at all on the farm?
So right now it would be, and of course I'm still developing it, but and improving that model. But the goal, essentially it'd just be completely automated. So then you can just put in you would just put in an image and then the pig ID into the model. So then it would have print out like an Excel sheet or have an Excel sheet that would have the pig image, the pig ID, and then the back fat estimate, the loin depth estimate, and then the IMF estimate from that. So the only input would just be the pig ID and then the ultrasound image.
Gotcha. So from the readings that you performed on this study, with the accuracy, was the accuracy of the loin depth and back fat, were they any different or higher or lower when you had like extremely fat pigs or extremely lean pigs, or were they all about the same accuracy no matter what?
So interestingly enough, for my data that I've been looking at, I haven't seen too much difference between extremely fat pigs or extremely lean pigs. I've heard anecdotal evidence of having that there do run into issues with fatter pigs, just because as the back fat increases, there's more that the ultrasound has to go through. So it's a little bit more difficult in identifying the rib line with fatter hogs. But interestingly enough, I've found a greater impact from different breeds. Because in my data set, I have 3 different breeds, one of them being Duroc and then 2 other being lighter breeds. And we experience more issues actually in identifying and the accuracy in some of it with the Duroc line having the little thicker skin and darker skin color.
Interesting. So another question I had is, how do you see this technology being applied? So you said it would relieve some of the labor on the farm. Would this be more helpful to the farm, you think, or do you think it'd be more helpful to the packing plant?
So, good question. I think for this, I think could be a couple different avenues of how it could be applied. For our goal with what we're working on is primarily a genetic application. So using this the ultrasound images on live hogs to then be able to genetically select from those based on those traits, and then having that like I said, from the live hog. However, there are also several different applications, such as like applying it to ultrasound readings for sow body condition loss for sows, and to better predict sow body condition loss, especially with my advisor being 𝗪𝗃 and developing the caliper. Like that could be a good application for estimating, trying to automate that of sow body condition loss. Another application would be from the packer. I know Biotronics has a similar model of kind of what they're doing. I believe that they're applying it at the plant level. I would have to check and see that how they. Well, I've discussed with them, and they're also developing that for the plant level. But yeah, definitely could have great application at the plant level, especially as the swine industry is trying to be a little bit more focused towards improving quality. Doing that, because I know that they have a similar one on like the beef side for estimating, automating the process of marbling on the beef side.
Right. Well, that's all very interesting. So before we finish up, is there anything else you'd like to add about the study at all?
For me, it's just been a great process, because growing up, I was always more of a production guy and grew up on a farm and everything. But then just learning in classes now, learning a lot about like the engineering aspects, and trying to just develop new ways of like incorporating this kind of technology. And I just especially for my passion for the industry, I just really am excited for this technology, and hope to apply this technology and hope it helps improve the industry and proves the accuracy and of those measures being taken on farm, and excited to see the future application of even other projects that we'll be working on in the future, of just the image analysis and other future applications of those skills that I've been learning in image analysis.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you for coming on the show, Zach. And to everyone else, thank you for listening to the Swine Nutrition Blackbelt Podcast. Please visit us at swinenutritionblackbelt.com, and don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss out on our latest episodes. See you next week. Hey everyone, we're always searching for the latest and greatest research to share each week. If you have a swine nutrition related research trial and would like to come on the show to talk about it and share with us, feel free to send an email to nutritionblackbelt@swineit.com, and we would love to take a look at your research.